Hello, welcome back. Now we're going to be looking at the inference question, question 3. So we know we're going to have to explain something that is not massively evident in the actual words. We're supposed to infer how someone's feeling and thinking in this one, or the tension in another one, as you saw from the previous questions. And it'd actually be a really good test for yourself is if you actually went about creating some questions, silly as that sounds. So just imagine that you were just putting these questions together and come up with a list of 5 or 10 just to kind of build your understanding of exactly what you're being asked. So again, here we're going for C first of all, and in trying to get the C we need to do the following. We need to show a clear understanding of the events described in the text, so we have to explain what is happening. We can't just link the feelings. Clearly explain and begin to interpret thoughts and feelings. So I have to definitely say what she's feeling different times, and obviously I'm going to be mentioning more than one feeling. It has to be kind of a range, because they're not going to give you a passage that's just got one thought. Again, it's the umbrella idea. You have to get all the things that come under something. So if you're thinking just unhappy, you might be sad, morose, etc. Just think of all the words you can use. This is probably a good synonym exercise as well, actually. And then employ appropriate quotations or references to support your ideas. So my question was, explain some of the thoughts and feelings Claire Francis has during the storm, from this book Storm at Sea. I'm sure you can find this again, I'm sure you can find it online if you look for it, not necessarily the book but the extract, or just go to one of your teachers if you want to do that and just say, may I please have a copy of the June 2011 paper, photocopy and give it back to them, because they are really useful for mocks, etc. And then you've got it as a reference there. Claire is in a situation that is getting worse. She has been working really hard because she had to change the sails. I was exhausted from having to change the sails throughout the night. She thinks she will find some dry clothes and this will make her feel better, but she only finds wet ones. So they're very kind of clear understanding, and it engaged well with the text. Because if you're thinking, well, is that really band 5 or 6? Look what comes below it. Shows some engagement. Well, no, we've already been very kind of comfortable in the first paragraph. Attempts some comments. Well, these aren't attempts. These actually. These aren't attempts, they're fully, the person clearly understands and offers some quotations. Well, we've already had one in the first thing, and we've got another one here. So you look through and you see all the quotations, and we know we've got more than some. So again, instantly we're kind of up in this category. So basically, sometimes you can be defined more by what you're not, than what you are in terms of response. She thinks she'll find some dry clothes and this will make her feel better, but she only finds wet ones. So we see some of the things that we've actually put, her thoughts and feelings. She thinks here she'll find some dry clothes, and she tries to make herself feel better, and she's thinking about the future. So again, I've answered the question several times, and because I'm a C grade student at the moment, I'm picking up thoughts and feelings. I'm being very, very explicit. She thinks, she tries to feel, she thinks, and you'll be seeing that more and more as she gets into it, and as we get into it. She shows us this when she says one day she was thrown about a lot as if she was in a washing machine, which was very uncomfortable as she was getting bashed about. So feeling there, she's feeling uncomfortable. She tried to stay in one place in her bunk, but she couldn't. So she had to tie herself in. So I'm understanding the events, and then the feeling that comes with that is, this shows us she was thinking about just waiting for the storm to pass, as she knew she could not do anything about this. She did not do anything, as the storm was so strong. She doesn't feel sorry for herself, as when she has to go and pick up the sail, she sorts it out in 5 minutes. So again, one of her feelings. She just gets on with the job and goes to do it. This shows she feels she has got to get on with things even though she is tired. So again, now I'm mentioning tired. So there's a lot of different things I've actually mentioned in there, some positive, some negative. So, and that's what we have to infer from the story, that this is a story of survival, a story of hope, it's a story of kind of, against the odds, that kind of thing. And if you're familiar with reading in general, then you're going to know that something called Storm at Sea is going to carry those connotations, carry those, ideas within it. And so it's not. This is why when your teacher's been saying to you since year 7, the more you read, the better you'll get at it, and the easier your exams will be. This is exactly where that payoff is. If you've ever read more than just the bare amount, and you actually enjoy it, then you'll be able to pick these things up a lot quicker. Because reading is harder to teach than writing, because reading is definitely more of a practice skill. I think, at least definitely in the higher level range than writing is. But obviously at the top, they both need massive practice. Sorry, excuse the digression. The last part shows how sad she really is. Again, I'm back on feelings. She's in dismay at the way the weather has changed and become more severe. Her hopes really drop, and she's worried and let down by the weather and what is going to come next. So did I show a clear understanding? Yep. And explains and begins to interpret the thoughts and feelings. Well, actually, it was quite a solid interpretation of the thoughts and feelings, so maybe it's more of a 6 than a 5. Employs relevant quotations and references and to support understanding and interpretation. And yeah, that's I think that's the most kind of solid in the middle of band 5, band 6 out of the 3 C ones that we've done so far. And obviously check back to see what the examiner has to say about that while we move on to the A grade one.